What's up, Samurai? We are back as mode. I have to do it one-handed because this sweet baby. I don't know why she's staying on my lap lately. I think both of them are just... It's a lot colder in our place. Because we're cheap and we keep the heat down. Anyways, Luxion's here. I haven't seen what his inventory is. I'm sorry this video is so late today, but I had other stuff that I had to get done. Hello, scam artist. Good God. So hopefully it's actually a good inventory. I mean, frankly speaking, I think no matter what, it's always going to be better than what it was the last 2 weeks ago, because my God, that was the worst inventory Luxion's ever had. Yeah, it's not bad. That's not a bad one. It's not great, but it's not bad. Yeah, okay. So anyways, there's going to end up being the Star Trail. So this is an old event item. It's an ally. Ew, I thought this was the mount, but I guess not. So it gives 25 magic, find 24 magic damage for whatever reason. They are gracious of your help, Trovian. They follow you to keep you safe. And it looks like this. It's kind of cute for a little ally. I like the effects on it. Haven't really seen those effects reused on too many like items in general, let alone an ally being that fancy. It's kind of nice, you know? And then we've got a very, very overpriced Spikebiter. Now, the reason why this is so overpriced, yeah, that's why I thought. So it says it's a store item because this is, as far as I recall, this spider was, it might still be exclusive to the Tomb Raiser pack. Which it's interesting people are selling it for so much. I mean, generally speaking, here's the thing. So I'm seeing people selling this for like $750 on PC. It's probably a lot lower on console just because the lack of inflation with the flux. But the thing is, I've also seen items out of Luxion's inventory that buy for 60 dragon coins and still sell for the same high value. Just because it's something that people actually like really, really want. Whereas this is an item that mastery farmers will want. And generally speaking is expensive because there's not many ways to obtain it. Not because people are like, oh my God, a spider mount. Bruh, I love SpiderMan. That's why I want this, right? I mean, it's not like it's a bad mount by any means, but it's not like cool, you know? Well, I guess it is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I hope I'm explaining this properly. And then there's going to be the booster seat again. Weird because I feel like Luxion only, yeah, I still have it as recently equipped. So I guess they messed up and he's just selling it again, whatever. This item, I don't even think is in the store anymore, but this is a prime example of something that costs the same amount of dragon coins, but is a lot cheaper for your flux because not as many people even care about this mount. Like the spider is at least a spider, right? There's something to it. There's some character to it. Whereas this is just a seat, you know. I like it just because I feel nostalgia towards this mount because it was in the store back when I started playing the game. I don't think that it's in the store anymore though, so just keep that in mind. And then this will probably be the biggest mount, I assume, as far as price. Yeah, I figured it would end up being the most expensive because this is a mount that has the rare circumstance of being an item that used to be in the store. I don't know if it still is because a lot of things in the store don't show up for me anymore because I've already purchased them. So I'm not 100% sure on that. Someone can confirm in the comments if you want to. But otherwise, this is another super duper old mount. I was actually coincidentally just talking about this mount the other day because this mount was back in the good old days of Trove, when store items were tradable to other players. So I distinctly remember the way that I unlocked the Warhorse was I wasn't really making money off of my YouTube videos or anything, and so I couldn't really justify spending much on this game at all. And so what I did was I ended up grinding, and there was this one dude in a club that I was in, and I remember distinctly that he would buy items out of the cash shop specifically to sell them to free-to-play players and get flux. The good old days, man. Like, why devs? Why did you move away from that? Why do you want to constantly take away everything that makes this game an MMO and instead turn it into a single player game where you're expected to spend like thousands of dollars just to end up getting crap like this? I mean, this thing is still really cool. It's got a lot of VFX to it. I do remember that when it first came out in the game, I was kind of underwhelmed because personally, these horse mounts, I don't really like the fact that we got no legs on them. Like, I think it would be a lot cooler if they did. I don't know. That's just me. But anyways, so that's that. And then we've got probably one of the worst mounts that Luxion is selling, which is a Luxion exclusive mount, of course. This should not be worth value. Yeah, it shouldn't even be that expensive. But it is a Luxion exclusive item, which means you can only get it from him. So the treasure chest is nice, and then the gold is all just like one color. Really stupid. It's a bouncing mount, so obviously I hate it. It also just doesn't really make sense with the treasure and stuff, but it does end up dropping qubits out of it, which also doesn't really make sense, just because that's not really Luxion's inventory. But hey, whatever. Okay, cool. So then we've also got the Luxion style stash, which the way that this works is in the style section, you know, there's hats and weapons and stuff, and each of these has their own labeled category. So the Luxion style stash will end up unlocking a random seasonal event pinata or Luxion equipment style that you don't already own out of all of these different categories, right? So it could unlock some summer stuff. So essentially it gives you one mastery. It's not worth getting them. It's just a waste of time. And then there's Binding Darkness, which this, again, is a beginner's trap. This is one of those things where the devs are completely out of touch, not realizing that Binding Darkness for 25 Dragon Coins is a bit steep. Because for those that don't know, Binding Darkness was an item that you used to get, like, I think it was out of Shadow Towers, right? Or something. It's been so long. But now they're basically in the Delves, and they are actually a lot more common out of the Delves. And I think elite mobs out in the overworld can drop them as well. I don't recall 100%, but all I know is I didn't have much Binding Darkness before the Delves, and now that the Delves have been in the game for a while, I actually got more Binding Darkness than I ever had. And then there's going to end up being the Golden Hoard Dragon Soul. So this is something that you'll probably want to get your hands on, because out of the badge section, you're going to see there are tons and tons of badges here that you get for consuming various amounts of the Luxion Dragon Soul. Not only do you get tons and tons of mastery, but you also get a pretty good starter ally. The Golden Hoard Dragonling is a really good starter ally for a physical character. But you'll also get all these different mounts and stuff, and here's the dragon stats themselves. Now, the problem is that you can only buy 15 of these per Luxion's visit, and he's not going to be here next week. He's on a bi-weekly schedule. So this week is Luxion, next week's Caruxian, and then the week after that is Luxion once again. And then, of course, you're going to have to spend 400 Dragon Coins in total to get all of the items out of this, which is going to end up being the following. So there's this dragon, which I call the cookie cutter one. Let me see if I can get a better angle for you guys just before we skim through all of these. And then there's this one right here, which does have the wings and can end up flying. And then the fully maxed out form, which can end up both flying and shooting cannonballs. That's kind of just the only real distinct difference between all of them. Otherwise, they're all just vanity, but you do get a lot of mastery and stats out of it and so on and so forth. But anyways, his inventory is okay. It's not bad, but it is also not very good. It's not one of the best that I've seen out of him, but at the least he's got the Warhorse and Spikebiter. Those two alone kind of make up for the rest of this garbage. Otherwise, I hope you had a wonderful, have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and rush this video out to you all so I can get some streams done. Anyways, smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel. Have a great day.